Mary Higgins, the first Division I chair of the NCAA softball committee, started women's athletics while still a student at Creighton in 1973. Talk about a pioneer. She later served as both softball coach and women's athletic director before moving to the academic side of the school during a 39-year career. She was the first woman inducted into the Creighton Athletics Hall of Fame in 1987, having coached the softball team to a 564-298 record and 2 Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women World Series and 2 NCAA Women's College World Series over 17 years at the helm. Higgins was also the tournament director for the NCAA Women's College World Series from 1982 to 1987, and was one of the first members of the NFCA, which was then known as the National Softball Coaches Association. Please enjoy this video honoring the career of Mary Higgins.
I've known Mary for 50 plus years. We both started at Creighton in 1970. She as a student and I as a secretary in the athletic department. She started women's athletics while being a student. She went to then Assistant Athletic Director and Director of Physical Education, Dan Offenberger, who had 4 daughters, by the way, and asked him for his help, knowing full well that he would be the one to help her get it done. Mary was determined and driven. This garnered her the nickname of Bulldog by many of the males that she approached to accomplish her mission. Mary is a born leader and a rock star for women and women's sports. As a head coach, she truly cared for her players, helping them succeed on and off the field. Congrats, Hug. Well deserved.
A huge congratulations to Mary Higgins on her induction in the National Fast Pitch Coaches Hall of Fame. The current successes we are having at Creighton University in athletics could not have happened without us standing on the shoulders of the many giants who preceded us. And Mary Higgins is certainly one of those giants. She started women's athletics at Creighton in 1973, and in all of her different roles, she led with great passion, great intelligence, and great character, preparing many female students who also happened to be athletes to be better leaders in their families, in their businesses, and in their communities. Mary has had a dynamic and positive, multi-generational impact on so many. Congratulations, Mary, on a well-deserved honor.
Hi, MH. It's Mary Yori. I just want to congratulate you on your induction. In 1982, she was able to secure the inaugural NCAA-sponsored Women's College World Series to Omaha, sponsored and hosted by Creighton University. That year, it really started to rain a lot the week of the World Series, and the games were in jeopardy of being played. Being the determined and resourceful person that she is, she found a way to secure a helicopter to bring it to the field and try to dry out the field. It turned out okay, and we got to play the games, but it was certainly a little firm on the top, but it almost was like quicksand underneath. So something I wouldn't highly recommend as far as field maintenance. But over the years, the story sort of grew about the helicopters, and it was kind of funny because at first it would be, hey, do you remember when Mary brought the helicopter to the field to dry it out? And then it became, hey, I think Mary was in the helicopter. And then it became, I think Mary was flying the helicopter. So the only truth we do know that her drive and determination and her find a way MO served her well to not only pull off the World Series, but also to be able to inspire her players to have similar approaches throughout their lives. Mary, we always appreciated and respected your willingness to stand up for the betterment of your players and for women's athletics. Again, congratulations on a well-deserved honor.
No one is more deserving of Hall of Fame status than you, Mary Higgins. You were more than a coach to me. You were the one who gave me the courage to have a voice in this world. You were the one that taught me to demand self-excellence and to set the bar high. I still hear your voice today when it would be easy to walk away, saying you are better than that. Thank you, Mary, and congratulations.
Hello, Mary Higgins. This is Tracy Fitzsimmons Kelly. Congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction. So well deserved, and we're so very proud of you. Your guidance has helped me to achieve a successful lifetime career in nursing with attributes of leadership, discipline, and the importance of being a team player. I'm happy to have this opportunity to congratulate you and tell you how special the person you are, both on and off the field, and how many lives you have positively affected. Thank you, Mary Higgins. You are a legend.
Mary, congratulations on your much-deserved induction into the NFCA Hall of Fame. You are a pioneer in the sport at the collegiate level and way ahead of your time in recruiting and program development. You created a program that competed at the highest level under the AIAW and the NCAA. I personally will always cherish my memories of competing in 3 consecutive Women College World Series, that final one which was hosted under the NCAA and hosted by Creighton. You were instrumental in bringing women's sports under the NCAA umbrella, which ultimately expanded opportunities for girls and women in sport exponentially. You were among the first to join and provide support and leadership for the NFCA. It was with courage and bravery you fought to widen the path for those who came behind you in the coaching profession. Today, I proudly stand on your shoulders. Your deep passion for the game, competitive spirit, and purpose of impacting the lives of young women has lived on in me throughout my past 4 decades in coaching. It is with great enthusiasm that I applaud your induction into the prestigious NFCA Hall of Fame.
Mary, congratulations. You deserve this recognition. Thank you for everything you did for 18-year-old me that influenced 60-year-old me. Fitness for life, service to the community, and driving home the understanding that character counts. I learned from those bed checks when we traveled. You helped me balance softball, academics, and Army ROTC. The leadership and life skills I learned served me well as an Army officer and now later in my career. Thanks, Mary.
Hello, Mary. It's Jody Longbala. I would like to congratulate you on your induction into the National Fast Pitch Coaches Hall of Fame, a very well-deserved achievement, and you deserve it. Mary, you have had such an impact on many athletes, including myself, both on and off the field. You are a huge part of my success in life. You've taught me hard work, responsibility, and how to become a winner. I think about my college years every day and my experiences because of you. Creighton University and Creighton softball would not be without Mary Higgins, hence why you are being honored. Thank you again for all my experiences. Thank you for allowing me to be part of the Creighton University family and to be a Lady J forever.
Hi, Mary. Congratulations on your induction into the Hall of Fame. I look back on you as a coach, and I just remember you as being such a driven, passionate coach and leader. And you instilled competitiveness in your teams and just prepared us on a daily basis. I specifically remember you being our wake-up call on road trips and this expectation of when your head left the pillow, you were ready to conquer the day and compete for the W. And I'm truly blessed and privileged to have had the honor to play for you. Congratulations on your special day. Cheers to you, Mary.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jean Tierney Holt, and I played the early years with Mary Higgins as a Creighton Lady J. We were so prepared. We were confident, and Mary knew, as we did, that we could win. And there was no off season with Mary. Actually, I'm not sure there were rules back then, NCAA-wise. I think that we were very, very prepared. And she used each and every minute to develop us to be the best possible softball player we could be. We were so well trained. The game never moved too quickly for us. Rather, we really anticipated every facet of the game before it even happened. I also felt that we could compete with absolutely anyone in the country, and we proved that by going to the College World Series 3 times. But what Mary probably knew, and what we now, and what I have come to find out now, that determination, it was really that was developing all of us into the women that we would become, to lead in our faith and lead in our families and community, and then also our careers. So I'm very thankful for that. Congratulations, Mary. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us women.
Hey MH, congratulations on your induction to the NFCA Coaches Hall of Fame. I'm so happy for you, and this is such a well-deserved honor. Like one of our first conversations when I was a freshman about how I asked you why I couldn't throw both games of a doubleheader. And you said, well, this is Division I softball. Pitchers don't do that. They don't throw 2 games in a day. I think maybe we proved your theory wrong, MH, in May of 1991. But I'm really grateful because I would not have been the player I had been, or that I ended up being, without you as my coach, and definitely not without my teammates. But you pushed me and made me better. And to this day, I'm so happy that I get to call you my friend and still get to see you on occasion and go to lunch. And again, I'm so happy that you are being honored in this way because you very much deserve it. Love you, MH.
Hi, Mary. DDM Pendleton Helm here. I'm just so ecstatic for you to receive this honor and for our softball community to really understand the impact you had on helping softball become an NCAA sport and helping so many of us Lady Jays become successful women. You saved my life, Mary. You took a bit of a wild child and you stayed patient with me. You gave me direction. You taught me to be a strong woman. And you pushed us to be our best. You held us to high standards, but most of all, you taught us to be great humans. Thank you for your constant fight for women in sports, for teaching us the importance of our history, respecting who came before us, and understanding our roots of being a Lady J. Now we honor you as an amazing pioneer in our national softball community. Congratulations, Mary. You deserve this honor.
Hi, Mary. It's a beautiful day in Southern California. I wish you were here playing a round of golf with me. I know you'd be trying to kick my butt. I want to congratulate you on your induction into the NFCA Hall of Fame. It's a great honor. My career would not be what it is today without your mentorship. As a student athlete, I learned many things about organization and accountability. As an assistant coach, you taught me preparation and organization was a key to having a successful team and program. Those things I will never forget. Thank you again and congratulations on your induction. Here's one for you.
Mary is unable to join us here tonight, but in her absence, Coach Higgins has prepared an acceptance speech for everyone to enjoy. Please direct your attention to the screens.
Please let me first express my deepest gratitude to the NFCA, to Carol Brueggemann, and to the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for their work in making this happen. Special congratulations to the inductees for all that they have brought to the sport of softball. Candy Letts, Kristen Gallus, they spearheaded the nomination effort, and I hope they know how grateful I am. Kristen was my longtime student manager, and Candy was an outstanding pitcher at Creighton in the 80s and has coached college softball her entire career. You all know that a coach is neither organized nor calm without a student manager who oversees everything from keeping the book to tracking statistics to gassing the vans to chalking the field for home games and grocery shopping for away games. And as softball coaches, we all deeply understand the value of someone on the mound who can throw hard and execute multiple pitches. Kristen loved softball, but she was also uniquely brilliant, attending law school at Washington University and then becoming one of the best-known Title IX lawyers in the country, residing at the epicenter of political debate, Washington, D.C. It has always been her driving passion to create athletic opportunities for girls and young women, and she was not afraid to sue anybody, from the states of Nebraska, Michigan, or New Mexico, and any school district that did not offer equal opportunities would run the risk of having to face Kristen in a courtroom. True story. Creighton softball started because in 1973, the athletic director, Dan Offenberger, had 3 young daughters. When a group of us as seniors in college approached him about starting a women's softball team, he agreed to do so because he wanted his daughters to have the same opportunities eventually had they been his sons. Title IX was officially passed in 1972, but truth is, it had not really gotten to Nebraska yet. But he just knew it was the right thing for Creighton to do. Softball was the first sport at Creighton, but the following year, volleyball and basketball were added. But of course, we had no budget, so they had to wear the very same uniforms that were purchased for softball. 1 set of uniforms, 3 sports. Yuck. Scholarships were the next hurdle. Enter Donna Lopiano, a name you all know as one of the most influential individuals in women's sports, who came to Creighton for a summit conference on Title IX. On that trip, she convinced that same athletic director that of our $5,000 scholarship budget, it made sense to give $3,000 of it to a pitcher, Holly Hesse from Waukon, Iowa. Not walk-on, Iowa. She wanted 3/5 of our budget. She was not a walk-on, but she eventually pitched our team to Creighton's first AIAW Women's College World Series. Without Donna, the Lady Jays go nowhere. And then we had players like Jean Tierney, eventually to become a first-team All-American, as well as the aunt of Joey Mauer of Minnesota Twin fame. Pretty good athletic DNA in that family. Jean was a nursing major at Creighton, and she would run across campus to the softball field for 3 p.m. practice, trade her white hose and thick white shoes for cleats and softball shorts, and head to second base to take ground balls. Her teammate was Mary Yori, who also was named All-American and a spectacular athlete. Well, we were playing in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and Mary was in the back of the bus, huddled up in blankets, sick with the flu. Well, the game got tight in late innings, bases were loaded, and we were behind by 2. So I sheepishly tiptoed into the bus to see if Mary felt like she might be able to just take one teensy-weensy at bat. So she shed her blankets, laced up her cleats, stumbled out of the bus, proceeded to hit a triple. We won the game, and she headed right back to the bus to wrap up in her blankets. We recruited almost exclusively in Iowa in the early days because Iowa was way ahead of other states relative to girls' sports. Side note, I'm especially proud to say that my husband and I took our honeymoon in Fort Dodge, Iowa, because that was the site of the softball state tournament every year. Forget Cancun. Fort Dodge might just catch on as a honeymoon destination site. I owe a special thank you to coaches Margie Wright, Rhonda Revelle, Connie Clausen, Bob Brock, and Joe Evans, all who wrote letters of support, as well as the additional Creighton players, Dee Dee Pendleton, Holly Hesse, Mary Yori, Joey Shopey, and Jean Tierney, who took the time to send letters to the NFCA and as players say nice things, rather than providing detail as to how upset they might have been when practice went too long, or when they got yelled at, or when they had to shovel snow off of the outfield so we could practice when it was just above freezing, or when I was just too plain old chintzy with meal money. I publicly apologize for all of that right now. Eventually, our recruiting expanded beyond Iowa, and somehow or other we talked a few players from California into coming to a university in the middle of the plains, known for harsh winters, to come and play softball. One February, a player told her mom on the phone how excited she was to finally be able to practice outside because it was 35 degrees and felt balmy. Her mom responded with, "Wow, you really have become a Midwesterner." Well, we could not have held things together without Grandma Kay, my husband's mom. We had 2 young kiddos, and she was willing to accompany us on any and every road trip. One weekend in Tallahassee, maybe the next weekend in San Jose. She loved those grandkids. Grandma Kay didn't really understand sports. In fact, she often commented as to how she was always confused about the difference between soccer and volleyball. But she was a godsend when it came to team travel. Speaking of kids, we were on a spring road trip to Texas, and the family could not come with the team. So, of course, I called home, and as we were saying goodbye, our 4-year-old son said, "Call us tomorrow, Mom, if you win." And I remember saying, "Well, what if we don't win?" His response was, "Don't call." Years ago, another pitcher from Iowa, Kelly Brookhart, pitched a record-breaking 56 innings in one day at the Western Athletic Conference Tournament Finals against Joe Evans and her talented University of Utah team for the prize of getting to the College World Series. We played from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., a 31-inning Creighton victory and a 25-inning loss in which we left 56 runners stranded. But Kelly pitched for nearly 12 hours without a single unintentional walk. Creighton hosted the NCAA Women's College World Series for 6 years. One of the most poignant, maybe shocking statements that cut me to the quick that I remember was from Mary Littlewood, Arizona State coach. We had had an abundance of rain the week prior to the series, and it just wouldn't stop even after teams arrived. We were frantically trying to find indoor locations, gyms, arenas, anywhere for all 8 teams to practice. When I asked Mary which facility she preferred for her team's indoor practice, she stared at me aghast and said, "I've never had an indoor practice." That one hurt, because we got pretty good on wood floors and ground balls, but we always worried if we could adapt to dirt and grass when the weather got nice. Early on, because of the weather, we wanted to take a spring break trip to play against warm weather schools. That same athletic director, Dan Offenberger, came to me and said, "Okay, Higgins, you can have your first spring break trip. It's an all-night drive to New Mexico, but I have a bus lined up for you to travel. Oh, by the way, you are sharing the bus with the Creighton baseball team." Needless to say, it was pretty squished. No one was comfortable, so a big card game broke out in the back of the bus. That was the spark that led to wedding bells for our third baseman, Jody Jennison, and baseball's center fielder, Dave Schrag. Jody passed away tragically in 2007, but her husband said at her funeral that during that life-changing card game, he told Jody he just had to keep playing until he could finally win. However, he admitted to making sure he did not win so that they could keep talking. Creighton softball grew and became competitive because of the support of so many. We were lucky to have such great people who supported softball at a small private university in Omaha. Did I mention it snowed there? Talented players from Iowa, California, Texas, even Canada, who made the decision to come to Omaha and play softball and get their degree. In their midst, there is a doctor, dentist, nurses, pharmacists, physician's assistant, teachers, business executives, lawyers, all connected through the thread of Creighton softball. I am so proud of what they collectively made happen. Finally, woven throughout all of these stories is one constant figure of unconditional support. My husband, for 42 years, Sid. He hardly missed an inning in 17 years of coaching, always had an opinion about umpires, kind of liked to second guess the coach, I have to say, stepped in to coach one time when I was kicked out of a game and didn't have an assistant coach on the trip. But he was willing to do whatever it took to help us be successful. Well, maybe it was not exactly unconditional support, as his favorite phrase was, "See you later, sweetie, we're with you, win or tie." Thank you, everyone. Thank you, NFCA. I am most grateful.